Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of On Brand from Muse by Clio. I'm Tim Nudd, editor of Muse. We've given Nicole the day off today, as this episode will be just a little different than what we normally do. But before I introduce my guests, here's a little word from our partners at Salesforce. By now, you've all seen the viral TikTok video with Nathan Apodaca skateboarding to work, singing Fleetwood Mac, and drinking Ocean Spray cranberry juice. It has 61 million views and counting, and has been a bright spot in a very dark year. So here to talk about the video and all things TikTok and Ocean Spray, I'm very pleased to welcome Nick Tran, head of global marketing at TikTok, Sandy Hawkins, general manager of US Global Business Solutions at TikTok, and Chris Fursley, Director of Global Corporate Affairs at Ocean Spray. Thank you guys for joining me.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
So for anyone who's been living under a rock, let's have a quick look at Nathan's video. I'm sure for you guys have probably watched it many, many times. For anyone who hasn't, let's check it out.
Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom.
So probably the perfect TikTok ever made, or certainly one of them. So eager to chat about this. Maybe, Chris, we could start with you. What an amazing sort of unexpected gift for Ocean Spray. I wonder if you could kind of tell us, the feeling internally at the company when the video started going viral.
Sure, and Tim, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. At Ocean Spray, we learned of the video a couple days after it started going viral, and we were just so excited. The personality and the positivity that he brought during, what is 2020, the horror of 2020 was just so welcomed. And we learned the video was going viral. We took some time to learn more about the video, understand why he was on a skateboard, why he was drinking the juice. And then the question was, how can we help? That's how it really started the conversation of how to get involved. For those who don't know, Ocean Spray is a farmer-owned cooperative. We were founded in 1930 by 3 small cranberry farmers on the principle that you work better when you're working together. And that is a mission that still holds true to us today. So putting forward that purpose and reacting in that way was important to us here. And that's just what we did.
Yeah. Do you feel like it really captured the DNA of the brand, this video?
It's been incredible, right? It just captured that positive feeling, that feeling of no matter what, you have to keep going. And that is exactly what our farmers do on a day-to-day basis. I joined Ocean Spray about 2 years ago now, coming from Michelle Obama's strategy director at Michelle Obama's Health Initiatives and the Milken Institute. So the method behind that was to really drive forward our purpose of connecting farms to families for a better life. And we are celebrating our 90th anniversary right now, exactly when this video hit. So to say that it captured that moment perfectly is a good way to put it. We were just thrilled to see Nathan bring forward that positivity. Thrilled to work with our partners at Jones Works and incredible work to just hold together our reaction quickly and authentically and be able to just get involved in a movement, if you will, that is bringing just such good vibes worldwide.
Totally, yeah. And we'll get into the Ocean Spray reaction in a little bit. But Sandy, on the TikTok side, can you tell us, when you guys first noticed the video and realized it was going to be big?
Yes, and thank you, Tim, for having me as well. The video was first posted on TikTok on September 25th and just started gaining momentum. We took notice of it about a week later. And then Mick Fleetwood hopped on his skateboard and, sang along to his own song. And since then, the video has garnered, Nathan's video has almost 18 million views. Now we're up to 61 million views. And I think the other big thing to note is that with our For You page and the algorithm that works to help to drive more content and pick up on these trends, Tom Hayes, who's the CEO of Ocean Spray, he posted his video, and in 24 hours, he had almost 2 million video views as well. It just shows how our people who are using TikTok as a platform, they come really to find joy, and what they found in what Nathan had done, and even with what Tom had produced.
Yeah, I noticed there was a lot. Nathan's had a lot more videos since then too, and they're all getting 5, 7, 8 million views. It's crazy. Yeah. So I'm wondering also, is there some sort of protocol that kicks in at TikTok? You know, when something involving a brand goes viral, like when did you guys reach out to Ocean Spray?
So we had, again, originally we saw the video on the 25th of September, and then about a week later, when it had nearly 18 million views, Nick and I hopped on a phone and thought it'd be a really great way to bring Ocean Spray and TikTok together to capitalize on the theme of it. It starts on TikTok, which Nick can talk more about. And Nick and I had a conversation, just said, you know, Mick Fleetwood, as I mentioned, had got on the trend and thought it'd be really great if we could create a commercial and put it out on TV. And what was amazing is we had the conversation on a Monday night, and the next morning we were talking to the team at Ocean Spray. Nick's team is, you know, feverishly working in the backgrounds to get the rights for the music and cut a spot. And then that Wednesday or Thursday, we were on air during the Major League Baseball playoffs. So it was amazing how quickly everything moved.
Yeah, I saw the spot on the World Series last night, actually, as I was watching. And
right.
I guess it's a pretty recent campaign launch, right? It starts on TikTok. And maybe, Nick, could you chat about that briefly?
Sure. Yeah. The insight there was that we found a lot of people saying that whether it's a song they hear on the radio or whether it's some new food recipe that they start to experiment in the kitchen, they find that a lot of these trends started on our platform. And what we felt was that we could almost find any thread that's happening that's relevant in culture and trace it back to TikTok. So that's really where the insight began. And it was such a simple thing for us to discover and then bring to life with the It Starts on TikTok campaign. And this is almost bringing that to life in such a real way, where you have Nathan, who is just expressing his real self on the platform. Truck breaks down, needs to still get to work, grabs his longboard, and then just goes. But he's just having such a positive vibe. And we always say that TikTok is like the last sunny spot of the internet. And that to us is why that was so successful. You see this person going through this like difficult time, and instead of being upset about it, he just kind of smiles, nods, and just goes on his way. And by expressing that, I think it related to a lot of people. So by him doing that, it shows that this trend started on TikTok. Our team on the music side actually reached out to Mick Fleetwood and had him become aware of this whole trend. And then he joined. And that's when we were able to close the whole cycle. So it's almost like the person that created the song that inspired this person to do this moment is now parodying that. It just kind of became this full meta moment that was just beautiful overall.
Yeah, totally. Let's have a look at the spot that you guys cut based on Nathan's video.
Here you go again, you say you want your freedom. It's only right that you should play the way you feel it.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, Nick, it really sort of embodies this marketing line that you came up with, a few months ago. Sort of the serendipity of that is quite amazing.
Yeah, and it's also amazing that after 44 years, now that Fleetwood Mac song is now trending on the Billboard chart. So it's just amazing how much does start on TikTok.
Yeah, all the media comes together on this one for sure. Chris, as a brand, you can never plan for something like this. You can only sort of react to it. So could you tell us sort of the conversations internally? You've mentioned it a little bit, but then how they sort of advanced to what you ended up doing as a gesture with Nathan.
Sure. So first, I'm going to say that the whole beauty of this was that it was unplanned and it was unscripted and it was just real joy. And it was just a man who loved his juice, loved his board, loved music, and needed to get to work. And I think that, to Nick's point, really shows the true power of TikTok to amplify things on its own. And we felt it was crucial for this to grow on TikTok a bit before we jumped in. We took that time to really figure out what we can do that was meaningful for Nathan. How can we help him and just authentically contribute in a positive way? So we let it live, we let it take shape. We knew, this wasn't the Super Bowl, this wasn't a marketing hack, this was just us helping Nathan. And that was the question when just 4 of us met and decided, okay, what's the best thing to do to help him? We figured getting him a truck and filling it with his favorite juice would be a nice thing to do. And even that was scrappy. It was man on the street style. Those were the dealership guys that actually delivered the truck for us because we couldn't get there. We worked with someone locally to film it on the floor, and it was just coordinated and executed. And again, I'll shout out to JonesWorks. Our team was amazing in doing this. But from that, just scrappy style of getting it there to again, social media, making sure that the TikTok recreated that special moment of Nathan redoing the same video in his truck. Then on Instagram, also posting the actual reveal. We like to play those off each other in tandem to make sure it was a nice holistic story and still very authentic and quick. Yep.
Yeah, the timing's interesting. Just so you feel like if you jumped in too early, maybe it would not seem authentic, or maybe perhaps opportunistic or something.
Yeah. First, we tried to understand what's happening, right? We no matter what, we don't like to jump in unless we know what's going on. And then second, when we saw it growing and the power of TikTok, we just wanted to watch that for a bit and use the time to make sure our response was authentic. It was getting involved in a more positive movement than any other way. And having Tom get on that skateboard, I remember shooting him a note saying, "Do you know how to skateboard?" He's like, I've done it once or twice." And that was his second try. He gets on the skateboard. I tried. I was like practicing in case I had to help, but on his second try, he just nails it. And we teased that out right before we gave Nathan the truck so that Nathan can see that Tom was really in his corner as well, which was just fun. I mean, and we've been happy to work with TikTok since and continue to just amplify this movement in an authentic, positive way.
Yeah, totally. Sandy, I know TikTok, you guys have been advising brands recently to not make ads, but to make TikToks if they're going to be on the platform, kind of be authentic to the platform. Obviously, Ocean Spray didn't make this, Nathan's video, but are there lessons here from Nathan's video for brands about the kind of content that does well and how to integrate a brand into it?
Yeah, I think the great thing about TikTok is that the content really drives what the users are seeing on the platform. And it's important to note that, in this respect, we're very much a content graph and not a social graph. So the content that resonates with folks is the content that's going to be amplified naturally. And the Ocean Spray and Nathan's video is obviously the prime example of how that happens and how it comes together. We always talk to brands about finding creative ways to express themselves that feels real to them and can bring that joy and lightheartedness and fun. And that's where we see brands having the most success, and why we keep saying, don't make ads, make TikToks, is because it really is finding that connection that a brand can have with their audience. Other examples of brands that have done that well on the platform is, with DSW, which is the shoes company. They stayed authentic to their brand, right, which is closets and shoes, and allowed the community to have people come into their closets and come into their homes to showcase what their shoes look like, since they didn't have any other place to wear them during these times. And so when brands are authentic and trying to interact in ways that people want to be interacted with, that's really when we see things take off. And the beauty of it, again, is that anything can happen at any point in time. And, to tie it back to the Ocean Spray and TikTok example, I think this is the new evolution of, you need to be able to act quickly on an idea and see what's working from a trend perspective and jump on it and just go with it. As I said, we partnered together with TikTok and Ocean Spray. And from the concept of putting an ad on It Starts on TikTok with their partnership, we were on air in 72 hours. And I think in this environment, right, that's how quick you have to act.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Nick and Sandy, maybe you guys could both talk to this, but they are pretty dark, divisive times. And it seems like a lot of TikToks that go viral are really just purely, positive. They bring such a positive vibe. Is that important for brands to remember as well when they're making their content for the platform?
I think so. The other thing that I'd say is, as long as they're being their real self at the time, it's okay. Like, there's moments that are hard, there's moments that are challenging, and it's okay to express that. One thing that I always talk about is how different parts of our lives are sort of compartmentalized, and we push those out on different channels. So like LinkedIn is for my professional self, and another platform might be for my perfect self, and so on and so forth. TikTok is really open to your full self, your real self, and your authentic self. And that's where we feel people can be daring and a little bit more bold in what they're doing. And it's something that we really sort of curate. And that, to Sandy's point, it's about the content and not about the social graph and the popularity of anyone. That's why we also feel that, like, in this instance, it just works so well, because both Ocean Spray, they were living up to their ideals, and we were also seeing this perfect convergence of all these things come together.
Chris, I know it's probably too early to talk sales yet, but can you tell us anything about sort of the level of engagement you guys have been getting and what metrics you're looking at?
Yeah, so we have seen a 5,000% increase in our social engagement happen that week versus the week prior, and it has stayed pretty much at those levels since. which is amazing. It's too soon to talk to sales, but we're seeing pictures pop up all over social of empty shelves in grocery stores where Ocean Spray would normally be. And that 5,000% increase is only in what we can see. It doesn't even include private accounts. So needless to say, it's been extraordinary. And we are excited to just continue the acceleration of where we were kind of already going, and thankful for TikTok as a platform to have brought us here. Yeah.
And how does this video and this whole sort of phenomenon fit in with the more traditional advertising that you guys have been doing?
So as you mentioned before, when you asked, it was the DNA of Ocean Spray. In the last 3 months or so, we actually started shifting our marketing and traditional advertising to focus on our sustainability messaging and our social responsibility work. Just started. So this actually fits right into that, because we are going to just continue pushing out those positive vibes and that purpose tied to the work we're doing in those spaces. And what we are rethinking now is using TikTok as more of a platform to reach that younger consumer and that Gen Z audience through those messages in, like Sandy said, make TikToks, not ads, in a fun, authentic way.
Nick and Sandy, last question. Any other tips for brands, to be authentic on TikTok, based on this video or just more generally?
I think, right, the first thing, as you mentioned, is to stay authentic to who you really are as a brand, and don't try to be something that you're not in chasing the trends. Find out how you can create your own trend, or, be your own, I say, true self or real self as a brand. It's about connecting with people too. And so there's really this human element of what TikTok offers. And, going back to the content graph side of things, anybody can become, a viral sensation on TikTok, right? Not just, we call them creators, not just the creators who are on the platform and they're posting every day, but anybody can become, famous. Tom Hayes, the CEO, his video riding a skateboard has over 3 million views now. And that's not what he's doing as his full-time job. And it's really one of the only platforms where you can have a hit video because you're doing something that you're passionate about, something that's meaningful to you, and other people take notice of it. And you can learn from that as a brand as well. And then, make sure you have a strategy that invites people to participate. That's one of the most fun parts of TikTok, is it's a way to bring other people into your brand. And so the way you think about how you'd want to address it as a person on your own is how you should be thinking about your brand is, what's your brand personality, and how do you reflect that on the platform?
Yeah, from my perspective, we don't really distinguish brands from creators. And our whole vibe is to essentially provide this canvas and be the window and be a bridge for people. That's sort of the analogy we use. So from a creativity standpoint, it's completely open. Like, you can do whatever you want on the platform. That's what makes it so amazing. And that's the canvas that you have. And the window is basically offering a window into yourself, as well as seeing a window into other people. And then we also think that we're creating this community that's able to connect to each other in such a meaningful way. So if brands just think about those 3 areas and what they need to do, I think they'll be successful. And from our side, on the TikTok side, we're all about celebrating this community and uplifting them, and elevating these voices that normally wouldn't be heard. So if we see some content, whether it's from a brand or a creator that just resonates, like, we'll definitely amplify it and include that in future campaigns.
Amazing. Well, I appreciate you guys chatting about this today. Congrats again on this wonderful piece of content. I know it brought so much joy to so many people, and amplifying that and how you deal with that from a brand point of view has been a pretty fascinating case study to watch. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. For the latest in creativity every day, check out musebycleo.com. And of course, we're back here every Thursday with new episodes of On Brand. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.